All right, this was sent into the channel by FNIRSI. This is a new product of theirs, a thermal imaging multimeter, 2-in-1. It does have a touch screen, 7 color modes, just different fake colors for the temperature. The part number is a TDM-120P, and look at the specifications here. Detector type, it's a bolometer, microbolometer of vanadium oxide. Infrared resolution is 120 by 90. It's got DC, AC, resistance, capacitance, diode. 0.5% for DC, 1% for AC, 0.5% for resistance. For high resistance, anything above 2K, it's 2% accuracy. Capacitance mode, 2%, 5%, diode and continuity. All right, let's take a look what you get. Comes in a little carrying case. We have probes over here. Comes with the standard probes that everybody's seen a bazillion times before. Comes with a charging cable. Comes with a manual. And then here is the device. All right. So it has a on-off button. This is a go button for taking pictures, just like a camera. Ding, ding, ding. Looks just like a camera. Here's the lens. It's got a little bulge here, kind of like a grabby thing for a camera, so you can hold onto it easier. Right away, I see something I don't like, and that is the spacing of these two. It doesn't look correct. Yep, they don't fit. A standard BNC space. This is a big fail. This is a big fail. Come on, guys. Every single multimeter known to man has the correct spacing. This is the incorrect spacing. Do not do this. Do not do that. Okay. Let's see here. What else? Hold down the power button. Yeah, there we go. We'll get the splash screen. It takes a while to boot, but there we go. We came up in the thermal imager. You can swap over here to multimeter mode. Very, very fast to swap back and forth. You can push this button. That doesn't do anything. Let me flop them now and then push it. There we go. Oh, here's pictures that I've stored. So it's got on the side here, it's got a little SD card. Okay, and it has a USB-C charging connector, and probably to flash new firmware and stuff too, I would imagine. It's got a menu with some stuff in it. All right, let's turn this off. Just for grins, let me see what kind of SD card they gave us. Ding, 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 ding. Comes with a 32 gig. All right. Oh, wait a minute. And a Kingston. Wow, a Kingston. That's amazing. If it is, it's not a fake. It's a good brand name. Oops, let me put this in the right way. There we go. Oh, I hate these little things. You have to get them pushed down just the right way. There you go. It's got a little cover. Place for tripod. Yeah, okay. So let's see if it's a multimeter. All right, I'm going to do some voltage tests here. I'm going to be using this. It's very, very accurate and good enough for what we're doing here. And I can double check it with the 7.5 digit calibrated meter there. But it's very, very accurate as you can see. 0.999. Yeah. It's very accurate. So I don't think we need to worry about it. All right, so let's go ahead and hook it up. All right, well, there you go. It's not bad. I think it's specified at 0.5%, plus and minus 3 counts. So obviously much better than it's specified at right now. Let's see here. Let's do 3. So it's very, very, very slow to update. Okay. very, very, very slow. And that's in the auto mode. So don't ever use the auto mode. It's just way, way too slow. We'll go into voltage mode here, and we'll go down to 3 again. See, it's much, much faster if we go to, if we use the volt mode. So yeah, don't use the auto mode. It's way too slow. Go back to, let's go back to 1 volt here. Yep. How about -1 volt? Oh, that's 11 volts. Missed the button here. Here you go. -1. +1, it's still slow. It's still slow. So it will have limited use. On my bench, it would have very, very limited use because it needs to be much, much quicker than that, especially with that many digits. It's just kind of silliness. Yeah, I'm changing the 0.1 here. It's just way, 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 way too slow. Okay, so it does seem to be fairly well calibrated within its tolerance. Like I said, 0.5%. It is nice having the extra digits to look at things relative instead of, you know, absolute. So it's okay. So let's go ahead and test some ohms. Okay, I'm going to be using my Deca box here. We'll go into ohms mode, and 100K, which is what it's set to. Let's go to 200. Yeah, very slow as well. Let's go to okay, so there's 1K. I'll add in 100. Yeah, very, very slow. Very, very slow. So, you know, depending on how you're going to use this thing, you may say, well, that's fine. Or you may just like throw it in the trash can. Yeah, let's go to 1 meg. Yeah, so, I mean, it reads okay, right? We're going low ohms. Oh, that's not very good. 101. 0.2. 0.3. All right, what happens to 1? Yeah, that's 1% out. Now, I'm not sure what the percentage. Let me read the book. Yeah, they claim 0.5% here as well, and it's out 1%. So I think it's failing at low resistance. It says 0.5% plus or minus 3. So yeah, so it's not doing well at 100 ohms. 200 ohms, it's okay. 0.5%, I'm not sure. Let's go down to a lower. What offset do we have? 0.2 ohms. Okay, fine. 10 ohms. Yeah, it's failing at this 100 ohms one. Let's go to 90. Let's see what 90 reads. 91. Yeah, so it's off on some low ohms one. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, we're going to check some diodes now. I have my little diode test board here. I have different types of diodes. So this is a Schottky diode. This is a silicon diode, 0.6 volts. Here's an LED, 2.2 volts. And here is a blue LED, 2.5 volts. That's not correct, I don't think. It's a bit low. So I'm not sure exactly what the compliance voltage is here. 2.5. Oh, there you go. 3.9 volts. So it'll measure diodes up to 3.9 volts. So yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. It'll does diodes okay. All right. So the only way I could get to continuity mode is to go into auto. And it's painfully slow. Ready, go. Ready, go. Yeah, it's totally unusable on my bench, like I say. If you can stand the slowness of this thing, it is operational. All right, so let's test out the camera. All right, we'll go into camera mode here, and look for. Let me zoom out. There we go. So obviously so I'm using this board and it has a 3-volt regulator on it. The 3-volt regulator is getting toasty. It's getting 33C. So there's a marker that finds the hottest spot and then displays it. It says 37. It's a little bit difficult to read because it's putting the value right on top of the cursor, which is right where it's hot, so you can't really see it because it's white on white. So that's a bit of a fail. But I can use this one up here, which is where your center crosshair is. So I'm going to put the center, and it's around 39C. So yeah, that guy's getting toasty. We can look around, and we can see we have a little guy over here. He's getting 30 and a half. Okay, that's that little chip right there. Right there. He's a VFO. And looks like there's some parts over here. Now, some of these are reflections to the lights above, so those aren't really hot. They're measuring what's reflected as hot. But here's an IC, and it's measuring about 25.9. Okay. Now, what I'm really interested in is it doesn't have a macro lens. I'm not sure if this version comes with a macro lens, if you can buy a macro lens for this or not. I really want to compare it to this, which is also a multimeter with a camera built into it. And I must say that I do use this all the time on the bench, not as a multimeter, but as a cheap little camera that's quick just to turn it on and play with. But it does have a sliding macro lens, which I find just really good. So now we can come here. We can take a look, and this is without the macro lens. Is it? Yeah, without the macro lens. It's not quite as good. So that's what I wanted to test. I wanted to see the resolution. Let's see here. Let's take a look at that IC right there, and then we'll take a look at it with this one. Yeah, I think this is a better sensor. So this sensor is probably one of the cheapest sensors you can get on the market. It's a 90 by 90 pixel count. This one is 120 by 90 pixel count, and maybe a better generation of part. I think this sensor is a little bit better. So just to be able to grab something. Now let me demonstrate the macro though. If I put the macro on, then I can come in super close. You can see. Oops, no, you can't because of the glare. Let's see, where was that part? It's way over. Here it is. You can see how close I can get. That is a super tiny little part. And with this macro lens, I can come in there and I can see it really clearly. And with this, let's see, where's the lens? There it is. Yeah, it's just not gonna focus on it. I need to be away a little bit. Now, whether you need that relief focus or not, I just find this very useful, having the macro lens, and it's always there. It's always attached, which is nice. But this does have a better camera in it, so we'll give it that. What is my general review then? My general review is don't use it as a multimeter, just use it as a camera, and it's not a bad camera. You can find something and you can push the button on top here to take a picture. There we go, image saved. You can also turn on the multimeter while you're displaying the thing and have it display, volts or ohms down here. Maybe that's okay. Maybe you want to do that. I'm not sure. But in general, all right. So the big fails: the spacing of the two not being 3/4 of an inch. That's a big fail. They need to move those closer together. Be nice to have a macro lens. The actual DVM part of this is quite slow. It did seem to be fairly accurate, and was maybe off a little bit in the ohms mode, but yeah. I don't know. This one's a mixed bag. If you're going to use it as a camera, there's also another complaint that I have is it's very, very smooth. There's no rubberized texture anywhere. So it is kind of slippery in the hands. And it'd be nice if it had a loop for a lanyard, to have a lanyard. It does have a 1/4 by 20 socket on the bottom, so you could put in a screw and attach your own lanyard. But it feels like I'm gonna drop it someday because it is just too slippery. I didn't show this. It does have a little flip out thing here that you can use for the if you're going to do this. It does have a flip out thing. Yeah, anyway, there you go. Links down below. That was my review for the FNIRSI TDM-120P.